Hello everybody, today we are going to go over a full in-depth review of my collection as a 100 subscriber special. Yes, I have finally hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. Never thought the military account would make it that far, let alone be as successful as it is. So, let's start looking over the stuff that I've obtained throughout the, while of collecting. Starting off, I say we just do a rundown of what's on display, and then we'll go through it more thoroughly later on in the video. So, the first things that are on my wall are my Luffwaffa uniform and my World War I U.S. uniform. These are really cool additions to my collection. Both really valuable and both really unique in their own way because they don't fit into any category. This being a post-war West German Luffwaffa uniform, this being World War I U.S. And here we have a World War I German display, or just, not really display, more like a, how do we put this? Just a bunch of the World War I German stuff that I have put together. I have an original World War I German gas mask, fully complete in there, a homemade trench club, a refurbished helmet, and a replica tunic with some replica putties in the background. And that is all that is on top of this, of the dresser. So on top of the shelf containing the Japanese stuff and the World War II German stuff, we have my full display of my African Corps stuff, which has the Luffwaffa shirt right there, the 6 African Corps photos that I bought, my coconut canteen, my Pith helmet with a pair of dust goggles on it, the dust goggles packaging right there, and then an unopened pair of dust goggles on top. We'll take a look at the inside of the shelf now, which this is the top shelf, so this is the top shelf. Now I guess we'll go through the top shelf here, including my M35 here helmet, my World War II GM38 gas mask canister with gas mask inside, a Hitler Youth armband, a picture frame containing a bunch of Nazi memorabilia, like a postcard, and we got an Iron Cross in there, and a Merit Cross with its ribbon. Some pretty cool stuff in there. A VM37's gas mask filter with, on top of an original VM37 gas mask in box, an SS belt with belt buckle, an officer's belt, a tie clip, a stamp and a stamp and a coin, belt right there, a comb, another badge right there with just some more cool stuff along there with coins. So in the second shelf we have my Japanese helmet, my Japanese binoculars, 2 Luffwaffa photos, a bayonet, and my single decal M42 Luffwaffa helmet. On the third shelf down, we do have a beautifully painted M42. It's a relic helmet that's been dug up and painted, a dug up shovel that's been painted, and we have a beautiful pair of winter campaign boots. I wouldn't call them beautiful, but I would call them a unique find, especially for 30 bucks. I think that was really nice for them. But we'll get into all that when we review it one by one for the 100 subscriber special. And a shovel that may or may not have been redone. For the price I paid, I could care less. Right here we have the biggest display being my World War II US display, including my drill instructor's hat, a radio parts box, the hat that goes to my PT uniform, some rifle cleaning equipment right here that may or may not be from World War II. The dude that gave it to me said it was. Right here we have a canteen with canteen cup. We have a beautiful U.S. World War II blanket. I have a story for that later on in the video. My Replica 1911, now I remove the orange tip to it, so it looks a little better on display. A canteen with canteen cover, no cup. But it does have, I do have the complete history of World War II. This is the Memorial Edition. It's not in the best of shape. I hope to get it fixed up, but that will take money and time. Right here we have a winter coat with a webbing setup. There's a backpack on the back of that, but I'll show that later on in the video. World War II U.S. civilian gas mask, Army gas mask, and a 82nd Airborne Division. I think that's a pillowcase. I can't remember what it said it was. I'll have to go back and look. I have an M1 helmet right here, which is swivel bale, not fixed bale. I made that mistake of calling it a fixed bale because the swivel bale would not move. So I intended that it was either stuck or fixed bale. But anyway, a swivel bale World War II US M1 helmet, a World War II US putty, a flag that my friend gave me, These are both just 50-star U.S. flags. So a pendant that a Vietnam vet gave me. My World War II PT uniform. And this, I don't know really if this is World War II or not. I don't really know for a fact. Because I don't think they said first aid kit life raft. I just never seen that before. But if, you know, it is World War II, it's here. But I don't think it is, but it was a gift. So, you know, you can never turn down a gift from your family. Starting off with the Luffwaffa uniform review. Right here we have the hat that goes with it. As you can see, it is in pretty good shape. You can still see all of the colors and stuff. Starting off with the World War I U.S. uniform, as you can see, this is the helmet for it. You can see it's not in the best of shape. It has a repro liner in it because I wanted to wear this on Halloween. And the original liners have asbestos all in that, like the foam, like the, not foam, but like felt part, as you can see. But this is a remarkably good looking helmet in my opinion. Flip it back over. Now we'll look at the uniform. As you can see, the uniform is in remarkable condition, although it just being a standard uniform in my opinion. Nothing special on it, nothing special about it. No ranks, no insignias, no collar discs. But, you know, it was pretty good for the Halloween I wore it on. It's still in very remarkable shape. If I ever wanted to sell it, which I might do, I could get my money back and probably a little bit more. Now let's take a little bit of a look at the hat. As you can see, it does have a name on it right there, along with some stamp or insignia, whichever way that would go. But if you know what that means, please do tell me. That basically sums up the World War I U.S. Doug Boy uniform, which eliminates these two uniforms. We've reviewed both of these. Now on to the World War I German stuff. Just a short little thing. I'm not going to be reviewing this because it is a pain to get in and out, and I do not want to damage that gas mask. But there is a video about it if you want to go watch it. But that is, I just don't want to break that. It was a very expensive gas mask, and it's very, 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 very good condition for 100 years old. So now we'll look at the World War I refurbished German style helm. As you can see with this helmet right here, it has been refurbished. The outside paint, I'm pretty sure, has also been refurbished, but I could be wrong. I just don't think that this paint would look this good for over 100 years old, because even on my World War I German gas mask, which I know is fully original, has been worn down an awful lot, and this one collects dust faster than anything, which I don't know if the paint was meant to do that. Also, this paint looks very waxy in my opinion, but I don't know if it was supposed to look like that or not. So, if anybody has any news about the paint being refurbished on the outside, please do tell me. Also, the immense clumping makes me think it's refurbished. You can see, it's also very nice on the inside, which I don't know how you get a good paint job on the inside and not mess up the outside, but, you know, maybe. You can see the liner is, it's a repro liner, it's replica liner, replica chin strap with maybe original brass. I don't really know a lot about this helmet, but the price I paid was really good, even for a repro helmet. Repro, refurbished, even an original helmet. That was a very nice price I paid for it, which is why I don't think it's totally an original. But, you know, I kind of know it's not totally an original. Look at that liner. You can't bend 100-year-old leather like that. You can't crease it. It'd probably crack. But then again, I have seen some pretty good condition stuff. This is not an original helmet. This is a refurbished helmet. Just going to make that clear. I know it is refurbished. It is not original. It's not fully original, at least. But anyway, I will move on to the next item. I don't really know what to say about the putties other than they're just putties. You know, wool strips with kind of canvas material on them. That's about all I have to say for the putties. The trench club, it's just literally nasty tar mixed on a club. You know, big long stick of wood that's a little scuffed up for me using and playing around with it. I mean, it's okay, but it's homemade. So, I don't know, I guess, very good condition. I don't really know what I want to say about this. But it's okay for what it is. for the display. You know, made it for the display. Looks really cool. Made it to use. Never really did use it, but I will move on to the next item now. If you look at this, you can see that the paint is very worn down. It's very faded. While this one's paint is very bright for what it is. You know what I mean? Clearly, replica everything except for the shell. Shell is not replica, I'm pretty sure, but if it is, it's a nice-ass price for a helmet that looks decent. This, I bought that when I didn't really know a lot about collecting. It probably wasn't the smartest decision, but, you know, you live and you learn. You can see with this, it's in really good condition, but we're not going to take it out. You can go watch the video for that, because that is a very fragile gas mask. But let's move on to the African core stuff. As we can see here, this Pith Helmet is in remarkable condition. The dust goggles are in great condition. It does have both badges on it. Let me just move it real quick. It is in rough shape around the edges, like right in there. The chin strap is also cracking a little bit. But, you know, can't really complain, because this was a very nice helmet. Yes, it is a helmet. It's a Pith Helmet. There's the swastika. More did this because the dust goggles wouldn't go any further down, and I don't like that it's covering the swastika, but it's never facing the way where you'll see the swastika. We'll look at the inside of it now. As you can see, it does have a stamp right there from where it was captured. Right here, another stamp. It does have 57 down near that. There's a stamp right in there on the little, you know, chin strap part. You see down into the liner, it's in really good shape. This helmet is really weird. Pith helmets, I never really thought of getting one till I like figured out those were a real thing, and I had to do research to find out what real ones looked like, because the ones that shows, I didn't think they were real. I knew Pith helmets existed for the Nazis. Don't think I didn't know about the, you know, African campaign. I just didn't want to buy a, you know, several $100 helmet and it not be real. So this Pith helmet, I did a lot of research before buying one, because they're confusing items in my opinion. You don't really hear a lot about. When you think Nazi Germany, you think the Waffen SS, the Wehrmacht, the fucking Luffwaffa. You don't think African core, or at least not a lot of people. I do now that I know a lot more, and I'm a bigger fan of the African core stuff. I think it's really unique compared to some of the other German stuff. But we do have to move on from the Pith helmet and move on into the coconut canteen. Before we do that, though, we will look at the dust goggles. They're just disposable dust goggles. Nothing special about them. Just want to get a quick look at those before, you know, we move on. The coconut canteen does have a few stamps. First stamp is right there on the front. On the back, it has one right there. Right here, on the back of the clip, it does have it. The clip's paint is rubbing off. It's like wearing down, as you can see, but it still has a majority of it, so, you know, pretty cool if you ask me. This has a stamp on the back of it right there, which is exactly what it says on the back right here. The canteen cup does have a, see, this needs dusting off. I need to, you know, clean it off. See, because you can just, yeah, you can rub most of that off. You can see that has a stamp. Open it up. I had to open this up before because I had to redo the first clip because this wouldn't open up. You can see there's no stamping down in there. I mean, it kind of looks like it with that little scratch, but it's not stamping, as you can see. The inside of the canteen, I can't tell if it's rusted or just worn down because it's metal. It's not, so that's probably rust on the inside. So we'll shut up the canteen. The leather strap, which does hold the canvas on, which I never got why they did that. They added canvas to prevent it from cracking and, you know, wearing away, because it's Africa. It's hot as shit there. It's hot as all hell. But there is a leather bit, a leather belt that holds it on, like a leather strap, not belt, more like a little leather strap system, which is holding on by a wire now. I did not put that on there. This was on there when I bought it. But $150, I think $50 did not, you know, didn't sound too bad for this. But we will move on to the next item, being the photos. As you can see, it does have a bit of a glare, but I can't really stop that. But the photos are pretty good, in pretty good condition. As you can see right here, we have another one. You can get better views on them. I can zoom in very slowly and it won't lose focus. There's the first one. There's the second one, which is African Corps soldiers on a bike and at a camp. Some guys standing around and, you know, some guys behind a pile of something. Forgot to mention the first two photos. I don't know why. These are supposedly Luffwaffa photos, which I did figure out that is a Luffwaffa guy. So these two are Luffwaffa photos from the African Corps. But anyway, I guess we'll take a quick look at the shirt without getting it down because it's hard to get it up and down from there. As you can see, this Luffwaffa shirt does have its original breast eagle with its shoulder boards on the sides. And right up here, you can barely see it, but it does have the dating, which is 8-42, and a medium 41 with a number 2 stamp right there. This kind of concludes the review of this stuff and all of this. Now we will review the first shelf in the cabinet, starting off with the HJ armband. There's not much to the Hitler Youth armband other than the swastika, the white band, and it being a diamond instead of a circle, or I guess a square turned at a certain degree. It looks pretty, it's a pretty basic armband. Armbands are usually pretty basic. So let's move on to the helmet. So this is the M35 Double Decal here helmet. Starting off, it has its tricolor shield decal on the left side of the helmet, and on the right side of the helmet, we have the eagle. Well, the eagle decal, or eagle shield decal. I don't really know what you'd call that, or how you'd say that. Facing the helmet, the eagle is on the right, and the shield, the flag, or the tricolor shield is on the left. Looking at the chin strap, as you can see, it is in very nice shape. Looking in the liner, the liner is also in very nice shape, as you can see. That sums up the double decaled M35. As you can see, the canister for the gas mask is in very nice shape. The paint is really nice. It's, you know, all still there. As you can see, the mask is in pretty good shape. Move the filter back for a minute. So you can see it has its straps right up in here. The neck strap down here. See, it's got a little bit of rust on it and stuff. As you can see, I'll just flip those up real quick. See, the neck strap are right there, and the, you know, entire face straps are up there. The filter is also in very good shape. Still having the stamp right there with the eagle on it. It's a little smudged and a little worn down, but, you know, that sums up the World War II GM38. For this, I can actually probably go through everything in here, starting off with the Iron Cross up on the top right hand corner. Down here we have my Merit Cross ribbon with the Merit Cross, a postcard, some German currency, so a photo of a bunch of officers, and a bunch of stamps right along there above the postcard, and a sports shirt insignia. The next few items, I'm not going to take too much time, starting off with the filter, a coin, a nice looking stamp, magazine, a comb, a tie clip, a Waffen SS belt buckle with belt, as you can see here, an officer's belt, a belt buckle, which I believe is a Waffen SS belt buckle. Last three groupings of items being the coins, these two, and a medal. Now we'll start a little bit more of a in-depth review of the World War II VM37 gas mask. As you can see, it is in remarkable shape. This one's filter being in way better shape, as you can see here. Probably being made around 1939, I'm guessing, or this might be the 39th model they made that month or year. Shower head filter, as you can see. The mask has remains of a stamp that was originally there, that has worn down over the years. It's really visible when light is put onto it, but from afar you can't really see it. The box is in really rough shape, though. This being torn, has the original, exhale valve cover right here. But now we'll look at the mask more in depth. So as you can see, the mask's in relatively good shape. a little bit of a black mark right there, but honestly, that doesn't really matter that much. Flip it inside out for just a split sec, and you can actually see some stamping right in there. Oh, you can smell, I can just smell the old World War II rubber radiating off of it. There's another orange stamp, which I'm guessing might be reminiscent of something on the other side. Nope. The lenses are yellowing a slight bit, but I mean, what are you gonna ask for? This mask was really cheap for what it was. For what it was, this was a really cheap mask. I'm surprised it's in this condition. Right here we have the instructions on how to use the mask, as you can see. In beautiful condition, if you ask me. It is missing that cardboard piece right there. I'm not going to complain about that, though. You can see, should have had a string, but it doesn't have any of that anymore. It's in its original plastic. I don't know if it's supposed to be in plastic, but I'm going to keep it in here anyways. But, yeah, let's move on. Also, before we move on, you can actually see where it says VM, size medium, with a little bit of writing down there. It's a little bit easier to see in person. Now we will move on to the second shelf. First thing on the shelf we will look at, well, on the second shelf we will look at, is a single decaled M42 Luffwaffa helmet. As you can see, it is in very good shape. The decal is mostly there. You know, clipped off in a few points. Flip the helmet over. I think it might have been double decaled at one point, as you can see an outline of a decal, of a shield. But I could be wrong. A little bit of rusting on one of these split pins. The paint's wearing off. It's a little bit chipped up. It's got a, scratch mark right there. Paint's gone right there. It's got a few scratches, a few bad marks, here and there. Liner's in fantastic shape. Has a repro chin strap, as you can see, right here. It does have stamping along there with a original stamp marked out. I was never the biggest fan of the model M42 helmets. I didn't like the unrolled edges. I thought they looked weird, especially like when you get down to here, it looks weird. But my Luffwaffa helmet, because I'm a big fan of the Luffwaffa. I always thought their flak guns and their aircrafts were very cool in my opinion. So this helmet grew on me, and it made me like the M42 a lot more than I did. But we got to move on now. Next up is the Bayonet with Scabbard, as you can see. The Scabbard is a little worn down a little bit, but I'll get a frog for it eventually. You can see it's in, really nice shape. This isn't loose. Nothing's really coming apart on it. It's still in very good shape. Right here you can see, man, it's a little scuffed up. It's got fingerprints all over it. Polish it off. I can actually just rub a cloth along it real quick, and it'll look better for the camera. As you can see, there we go. Now it's just a little scratched up. Won't get my fingerprints on the blade, so you can get a really good look at how shiny this blade is still. It's in really nice shape. As you can see, it's actually causing a reflection. You can see that. It's a very nice condition. Except for the fact some dickwad carved a swastika into it. To the handle right there. But other than that, I think it's a police bayonet or a, fireman's bayonet. But I have seen it been used with Army and Luffwaffa. So, it does still have a leather piece right there to prevent rub from the scabbard. Now we will move on to the photos. Now looking at the two photos, starting off with this one, get real close. You can see every little detail about it. These are Luffwaffa photos, by the way. See, they're at a funeral. I think these are their ceremonial uniforms because their hats are missing the leaf and collar tabs are missing. So these might be ceremonial uniforms. You can even see it a little bit closer there. Let it focus in. Right there. Missing collar tabs and no reef on their visor cap. If you can tell me why that is, please do. Now we will move on to the Japanese stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is a civil defense Japanese helmet from what I've learned. Because I've looked at most civil defense Japanese helmets, and this one fits the role of it. Although most of them do not have the communist star. So this might have been a military issue, because I know the Japanese, they didn't have that good of stuff. Most of it was given to them by the Germans. As you can see, some of them wearing the Stahlhelm instead of the typical Japanese helmet or their, typical hats. So you can see this one is in rough shape around the edges. It has very bad rusting, and on the other side has very bad pitting, with the rivets being in not so good condition. Except for this one. This one's in really nice shape. Most of them aren't, though. This one's in good shape. This one, I think it's the back one that's the worst. It's not really even, but we'll flip it over. Looking in the liners, you can see, I'll just adjust the camera because I don't want to drop this helmet. The liner's in okay shape, if you ask me. Could be better. There's rust all on the top of it. Chin strap is still tied, with one part right here being an aluminum or wire of some sort. So, no, the Japanese helmet is not in the best of shape, but for what I wanted, it'll do until I can afford a better one, or until I get a new one. So, now we'll move on to the binoculars. So, the Japanese binoculars are in their case to prevent them from getting dirty, but the case is not in the best of shape. As you can see, it is very, very damaged around here, up in there. This side's in actually really nice shape, except for the little bit of chipping right there. As you can see, it should be a full circle, a full round, all the way around like that. Not circle, but you get the point. As you can see on the back, this is heavily torn. The paint's really nice on it, though, and the leather is still pretty sturdy. This side is broken. As you can see, it's, very bad. Right here, it is also very damaged. So we will open it up, but before we can open it up, we'll look at the top a little bit and go get something to put the lid on so it does not, fall off and rip even more. There's what they look inside of the case. It has a very nice blue interior. Now let's get them out of the case. As you can see, the binoculars are in very nice shape. Starting along here, they do have some numbers or something carved into them. I'm guessing those are numbers I can make out. Let's see which numbers I can make out. I can make out a 4, 9, 5, 16, and then the rest there's an 8 right there. But anyway, it has better writing here. Made in occupied Japan, you can see, which I don't know if these are Japanese or US. You can't see through them. I know you can't because I've tried, but we'll try one more time. Why not? You cannot see through them. Alright, well, trust me and take my word for it. They still have great vision. I'm guessing they're Japanese or German based on their style. They're in very good shape. The strap is actually the part that makes me the most sad. It being torn on this end, right? But the leather being so very flexible. It's cracking, but it's so... On some parts, it's really soft, and it feels like the leather would have back in World War II. And I really wish the strap still worked, because I would definitely wear these if I did an impression of anything regarding the, binoculars. But we do have to move on, and we're getting around to the last bit of the German stuff, and we'll move into the World War II US stuff. But, yeah, let's get into it. I can actually see it does have a stamp right there, made in occupied Japan. As you can see, this helmet is based on the Luffwaffa, because it has the Luftwaffe's eagle on the front of it. So you can see, turning it onto the side, you can see where the vent hole is. And you see Adolf Hitler. This is a very beautiful painting of a not-so-very-nice man. I think this is a Stuka dive bomb on the side of it. Well, next to Hitler, so you can see. On the back, there's not much. No, that's not chipped. Oh, I thought it was chipped. But on this side, you can see something. I don't know if that's anything important. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't know. But if you let me sit down and look at it a little bit more than just one, little video, I probably would be able to tell you. As you can see, this is a relic helmet that has been dug up. It has another Stuka dive bomb right there. One, it kind of looks like, that looks natural. The blade is where the vent hole is. So it looks a little bit natural. It kind of goes with the flow. 4 more right there with 1 more in the background. A nice one going under the, hole for the split pin. But if you ask me, I think this helmet is a pretty cool helmet of my collection, even though it may have not been used like it is now. As I'm saying, it's a relic helmet that's been painted. It definitely was a used helmet because it has been dug up. And actually, it does have the artist's name right in there. So yeah, let's move on. As you can see, this is a Panzer Type 2 with a Soviet. I'm pretty sure that's a Soviet throwing something at it. It's very glossy. Let's see if I can get it where it's not. Yeah, there we go. You can see it in way better light. Now we'll look at the winter campaign boots. I would consider these in relic condition. I mean, the leather is chipping all to hell, but they are still very nice boots. For 30 bucks, I couldn't pass these up. As you can see, they are still, I mean, a little bit dusty here and there, but you can recognize these as the campaign boots. So I would call them a win-win. What I bought them for. That one's sole is still in very good condition. This one is in a little bit better shape. Missing its tongue, but in a little bit better shape than the other. Excuse me, but than the other one. You can see it's still not in the best of shape, but this one's sole is in relatively good shape too. The shovel, as you can see, is definitely been redone or something, because it does not look like your typical German World War II shovel with a full black handle. This US stuff, as you can see, we'll start by going over the main things like the cot that is holding all this up, and then the blanket, the radio parts box, and then we'll go through each individual item that isn't, you know, kind of holding the display together. Starting off with the cot, which is under this. I promise, here, you can actually see it a lot better. I just pull up the blanket. See, there's the cot. There we go. But this blanket was given to me by my friend Corey. He is a senior in high school. One of my best friends, actually. And I saw this in his backpack when we were looking for some, you know, we were putting his Chromebook up and we were putting some stuff up. And I saw this blanket. I was like, is that a military blanket? Because that's like wool. He was like, yes, it is. You interested in it? And I was like, well, yeah, get it out. I kind of want to see it. And it turned out to be a World War II U.S. blanket he was still using. So, you know. That was pretty cool to get my hands on, but it just kind of sits here, you know. I don't want to wear it down because the US is very, very nice and visible. But now we will move on to the radio box. I bought this at Peddler's Mall. That's about the only story to it. Now time to get into every little detail of this huge display. Right here we have a canteen with canteen cup. Get it out. It does have a stamp right here, 1943. 1943, didn't realize it was upside down. This canteen, actually, see, military canteen with cup. It looks really weird. $14.99, so this cup came with the canteen, as you can see. So it kind of sits in there, you know. Oh, backwards. The chain is rusted, which holds the... I swear these get tighter and tighter by the day. Probably because of me not... Oh, that horrendous fucking sound. I hate it so much, but here's the inside of it. The inside of the canteen's not in bad shape. Here's the canteen lid. It does have a number up there, so we'll just shut it. Oh god, I'm not opening the other one if it's gonna sound like that. Damn, that is fucking horrendous. Look at the other canteen now. This one is in way better shape with the chain being a lot better. As you can see, I didn't want to take the cup off the other one. This one's dated, by the way, with name on it. 1942. US on it. Nothing on the bottom. A little bit of rust. A little bit of a rust stain. The push buttons right here. See? Star... I think that's just... that might say something else. But star pull or something like that. Canteen, this one's a different style with stamp. Where's the stamp at? There was a stamp on this one. I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, right here on the bottom. 1942. So this is where it's a little scratched up, but it's got US. It was hard to make out. I knew it said US. It was just hard to make out, and I kind of want to get it on camera a little bit better. Push the canteen's covers, buttons down. Oh, we'll do that on camera. See, just kind of a little bit of, fidget with a little bit, and it usually goes. But this is the other canteen. Now we'll move on to the drill instructor's hat. The drill instructor's hat is in pretty good shape, as you can see. I've already made a video on it, a pretty recent video, so you can go back and watch that for a better, in-depth review. The inside of it is very nice. I don't know how to get it to, here, we'll lay it on its side. You can see there's cracking right in there. Yeah, right there. But otherwise, this is in pretty good condition with, I think, only one moth hole. Right here, we have a Swivel Bale M1 helmet. As you can see, I made the mistake of calling it a fixed bale because the swivel wouldn't work on it. So I just assumed it was a fixed bale helmet. Anyway, we'll flip it over. Oh, God, that was loud. But, you can see, this is a swivel bale, which does move. There we go, see, swivel bale. Thought it was fixed bale, but no, it is a Swivel Bale M1 helmet shell. I think this is just the shelled one, or you consider it just the shell because of it being a, just the pot part of it, just the steel pot. But, we'll move on to the next item, which is, alright, now we'll just run through everything that's on the cot. It'll be a little bit more fun to review it on the cot. Starting off, I took out the spring so I could have it in a more locked position. So you can see this is a replica, and the magazine does not come out. I took it apart. It does not, so let me lock that back into place. This is the gas mask, the civilian gas mask. I don't want to get it out at the current moments because it takes forever to get back in, and every time I feel like the box is going to rip, so I'll get one that's out of its box to display. Rifle cleaning parts. A nice hat with stamping inside of it. It is dated. The PT uniform over there with the first aid kit life raft thing up there. I do have some BB guns right there, but those aren't really part of the video. Some flags my friend gave me. Basically what I said in the beginning of the video runs this entire thing down. This is the 82nd Airborne Division. It's like a pillow cover, or might be a trumpet thing, like, the banners that go off the trumpets, but I don't think we use those. I don't know if we did or not, but, anyway, though, this has completed my entire, layout of my displays, and my entire collection of World War II stuff, mainly World War II stuff. A little bit of it was World War I. That was only, 2% of it, though, being a U.S. uniform, and the, gas mask, and all the other German stuff that was up there. But thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day or night, wherever you're watching this at, or whenever. See you later.